this is what we have been playing towards. It is time for our final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads can't take part. So that's Liam, Alan, Neil, and Paul from He Is Heavy, He's My Father. Would you please now leave the studio? Well, good luck, Alex. You are playing to win He Is Heavy, He's My Father, £10,000. We've got one of the dads left in.
One dad left.
For the final here. Pat, Barry, Chris, Judith and Kevin, you're playing for something that money can't buy, which is the Eggheads' reputation. And just to pile up the money a bit more, as usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge, and you are allowed to confer. I'm sorry that doesn't help you.
It doesn't.
But Alex, the question is, can your one brain do what a few others have done recently and overwhelm these 5? Maybe attack them from the side. Would you like to go first or second?
I shall go first, please.
General knowledge, first question, Alex, good luck. The Heimlich maneuver is a technique designed to treat someone who's doing what? Choking, sneezing, or dribbling?
I believe that's choking.
That is indeed choking. Eggheads. In the late 1960s, hippies were most associated with which US city? San Francisco, Detroit, or Washington, D.C.?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
I'm pretty sure that's San Francisco.
As in, we're all going.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Be sure to wear
Some flowers in your hair.
Okay.
Absolutely. How we need Lisa for that. San Francisco is correct. Alex, back to you. Which artist coined the phrase, in the future, everybody will be world famous for 15 minutes? Francis Bacon, David Hockney, or Andy Warhol?
Sounds like Andy Warhol.
No messing around. You're right as well. Andy Warhol is correct. Your question, Eggheads. Golden Arrow was the name for a service beginning in 1929 that took passengers from London to Paris via what mode of transport? Train, aeroplane, or hovercraft?
Train from London, Victoria to Dover, ferry from Dover to Calais, and train from Calais to Paris. But there was an overnight service called the Night Ferry with wagon-only sleeping cars. I actually took the sleeping cars on the train ferry, so you could go to bed in London and wake up in Paris. It was train, anyway.
Are you sure, Chris?
Yeah.
Means you'll never catch Chris on a question about trains. It's never happened in the history of Eggheads. Train is the right answer. Well done. So, 2 each. You're playing really well, Alex. Get this one right, and a shiver will pass across them. Raoul Duke is the name of the main character in which cult novel? Naked Lunch, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, or Catch-22? It's Raoulduke.
Right, it's not Catch-22, so it's a choice of the other 2, and I shall go for Fear and Loathing.
You are quite right.
Excellent.
So there's a little bit of excitement now behind you. Your teammates realizing that you are possibly 1 question away from £10,000. In fact, no questions away because you've answered all of yours. All that has to happen now is confusion in the ranks. Which Governor General of Australia dismissed the Prime Minister Gough Whitlam in 1975? John Kerr, Quentin Bryce, or Peter Cosgrove?
Thought it was John Kerr.
I think it's John Kerr.
That's what struck me.
Quentin Bryce is more recent.
Yeah.
Don't think it's Peter Cosgrove.
That was Irish.
Oh, it's yes, different. Yeah, I think this is John Kerr.
All right, we're all agreeing on John Kerr.
We think that's John Kerr.
John Kerr is correct, Pat, yes. Ah! If they got it wrong, you would have won £10,000. Instead, we go to sudden death, Alex. It gets a bit harder. I don't give you alternatives. Are you ready?
I am.
In Cockney rhyming slang, what is a whistle and flute?
It's a suit.
It's a suit. You're right. Eggheads, with £10,000 to play for. In Scrabble, how many points is the letter Z worth?
10.
10?
10.
On Q. Yeah.
Q
Only
and
2 letters are worth 10.
Q and Z. Yeah, 10.
Q and Z, 10.
That's 10.
10 is right.
Although in Polish Scrabble it's worth 1.
Oh, because they got so many of them.
That's right, yes.
True.
£10,000 you're playing for. Keep on getting them right, Alex, and at some point they will fall over. Oscar Wilde famously remarked that a cynic was someone who knew the price of everything and the value of what?
Nothing.
Nothing is correct. We're on sudden death. It can end very quickly. £10,000 to play for. Okay, of the 6 actors that have played James Bond in official James Bond films, who is the shortest?
Daniel
Well,
Craig
Sean
is fairly
Connery is
short.
tall. I've met him.
George Lazenby's tall, big fry in the advert.
Roger Moore is kind of medium, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who else is there?
He's good, I think.
Pierce Brosnan might be small.
Yeah, you're just naming him as a Bond actor.
Timothy Dalton.
Dalton.
Daniel Craig, how big is he?
Moore,
Daniel Craig quite tall.
Craig,
Is he?
Yeah,
Lazenby.
see.
Oh dear, what a question.
Oh, that's a tough question.
Well, let's go through the Bonds. Okay, Sean Connery.
No,
Tall.
definitely not.
Who's next?
George
Roger Moore.
Lazenby.
George Lazenby.
Roger Moore's next. Oh,
Is he a possibility?
Roger Moore. I don't think it's particularly short.
No, he's not, is he?
Well, let's just keep it as a
He's the tower
possibility.
over Tony Curtis and Swaders.
Who's third? Roger Moore?
George Lazenby.
Lazenby.
Yeah.
He was big fry, so
He
he
was
can't be.
big
He
fry,
can't be.
so,
He
yeah.
can't be short.
Okay. Who's after Roger Moore?
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. How big is he? Was he the type of
Could be
team
Timothy
man?
Dalton.
No, well, not as far as I'm aware. Yeah.
Then we got Pierce Brosnan, who I think is taller.
I think Pierce Brosnan might be the smallest.
I don't think Pierce Brosnan is especially big.
Mm.
And then Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
And Daniel Craig. Who we think? You think he's quite
Well,
tall?
do you think Daniel? I think Daniel Craig's quite tall, isn't he? I may be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think. I thought Daniel Craig wasn't particularly
Oh, okay.
tall.
Don't know. Yeah.
My gut feel is between Daniel Craig and Timothy Dalton.
What about Pierce Brosnan?
I don't think so.
Well, so what are the 3? Pierce Brosnan. Who else? Timothy
Dalton's a
Dalton.
possibility.
Daniel Craig, I
we
think.
don't really know about Roger Moore, do we? In that sense?
No.
I think Roger Moore's quite tall.
I'm trying to think of the studio pictures of Daniel Craig. He's very muscular, but doesn't necessarily mean he's tall.
We're having a vote.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Dalton.
Dalton.
Brosnan.
Brosnan.
Brosnan. 3
It's
Brosnan.
very speculative. I don't know.
It's entirely
It
speculative.
is simply just whim.
3
really.
Brosnans.
Organised whim. I'm afraid we're a bit stumped. But for no reason whatever, we're plumping for Pierce Brosnan.
Okay, Pierce Brosnan is your answer. Do you know the answer?
Haven't a clue. I might guess Daniel Craig though.
Well, there's only one under 6 foot. And it is indeed Daniel Craig. We say congratulations, challengers, you have won! And that is the 3rd one on the bounce that you've lost against a solo player, Egg. So it's very interesting. Almost the problems of having too many people voting, or I don't know what the reason, I wouldn't want to guess. But well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done to you. And it's interesting that you might have got that question right.
So no great authority though.
Yeah, he's 5'10", by the way. The others are all over 6 foot. So, well done, you.
Thank you.
How about that?
That was good.
And we now know the answer about fathers and sons, don't we?
We do indeed.
So congratulations to He Is Heavy, He's My Father. It's the father on the team who's just won £10,000. You are officially cleverer than the Eggheads, and you've done it on your own, which has happened fewer than 20 times in the whole history of this programme. You prove that they can be beaten. Do join us next time on Eggheads to see if a new team of challengers will be just as successful. What a game. We won't forget that Bond fact, will we? Till then, goodbye.